something like that. No good. Wide right.
Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
Oh, the band is out on the field. He's going to go in the end zone. He's going to go in the end zone. The Bears have won. The Bears have won. Oh, my God. You believe it, Miller?
Hit it, Roy.
It's the Davey Mac Sports Program, where we talk sports and other stuff, like video games.
Speaking of which, what kind of money does a gamer use? Anyone? No? Nintendo?
I don't know.
Dough. Get it? Dough spelled D-O-U-G-H. You get it now, jerk-offs? Huh? Anyone? Don't make me come over there and hog tie you and torture you and the rest of your loved ones until you get it. I'm Roy Harter, and here's your host, Mr. Eastside David McDonald, everybody. There he is.
Thank you, Roy Harter, for another insane introduction. Nintendo. Yeah, I got it. What I don't get is after you tell us the joke, you start threatening us, making sure that we get it. And if we don't, it sounds like you're going to harm us. That's the part of the introduction I don't appreciate. But I can't dwell on that, Roy Harter, because we have a very special
I'm excited.
Coming to the program, the number one video game player of all time. You call him the GOAT. I call him the GOAT. He's the greatest ever. When it comes to video games, he is Ichiban. Ladies and gentlemen, put him together for the number one video game player of all time, the legendary Billy Mitchell. Bill, welcome to the program. Billy, welcome to the program, buddy.
It's always appreciated. Thank you very much.
Bill, you have not been on the program since your incredible victory in court over the sinister Karl Jobst. Break it down.
Yeah.
Roy, we have been covering the Billy Mitchell quote-unquote cheating scandals for years now. I mean, honestly, going back to Compound Media, I don't know, it's been 8 years of this BS for Bill. And this is what it is. Let me explain to all of you ingrates who don't understand the video game community, because I do. All of the people who troll and hate on Bill online do so 100% out of jealousy. They're not getting documentaries made about them. They're not on MTV. They're not in Pixels, a major motion picture. They're not in the Adam. Say
They're
again,
not
Bill?
on the Eastside Dave show.
Yeah.
They're not on the Eastside Dave show. They're not on what this is, the Davey Mac Sports Program. They're not on Wreck-It Ralph, which they had Billy on as well, a little cartoon version of Billy. The point being, the guy has transcended video games in the same way that Muhammad Ali transcended boxing. There are only certain people that transcend their sport. Ali, Babe Ruth, Michael Jordan, and Billy Mitchell. Now that's it. That's your Mount Rushmore of athletes and gamers who literally became bigger than the game. And for 8 years, Billy's had to deal with these jealous, envious pricks. People who can't get it done. People who can't get 1,000,000 points on Donkey Kong, let's be honest. People who've never dreamed of achieving a perfect man on Pac-Man, let's be honest. These are all things Billy has done. Mm-hmm. So these people go, well, he cheated. He cheated. Actually, he didn't. You cheated at the game of life. You cheated.
Boom.
With honesty. Because you,
I've done it better myself.
Karl Jobst. talk to me about Karl Jobst and talk to me about your victory.
But let me
with
ask you,
this
Dave,
legal battle.
who is the first? I say the number one.
I don't know.
I say the number one detractor is Roy.
Oh boy. Came out of nowhere, David.
I will say, Roy, he does have suspicions of you because you always bring these odd questions to the table. Like, for instance, do you have a question for Billy right now?
Hi, Billy. Roy Harter here. Big fan. I mean, I'm not big as in size. I'm normal sized. Although Dave thinks I'm petite. What do you say, Billy? Am I normal or a petite fan?
Well, your head's about this big. You make everybody else look little.
He's making fun of your head, Roy. He says you have a giant head. You do have kind of like a big head for your body. I mean,
sorry, David.
Roy, that wasn't really an actual question because you were just asking Billy if you're a petite or normal fan. It was weird. Could you ask him an actual legitimate question? Okay. We'll hang back. Okay. Everyone hang back and just let Roy do this question, please. And let's have some sanity with these questions. Thank you.
Billy. Roy Harter back again. And I'm the only real Roy with a record in missile command. You hear me, Roy Shildt? The video game community ain't big enough for two Roys, and only one of us is coming out alive. You're dead meat, Shildt.
Billy, Roy, we're gonna move on from Roy and his questions because obviously there's some brain damage going on. He did have neck surgery recently, and Robert and I believe that the neck surgery leaked to his brain, and we don't think he's the same. Talk to us about Karl Jobst. We'll hang back. You talk to us about your case, please. I want to hear how you defeated Karl Jobst in court. Go.
Well, the actual case itself, it actually ended the testimony in October, and everybody was wondering what is going on, what is going on, what is going on, month after month after month. It went all the way to April 1st, and the judge chose to stream his decision online. Now, some people believe that he chose to stream that hard news online. Some people choose to believe that he did that in order to match up the fact of all that Karl has done online, always streaming, always, trying to damage people. I don't really know what the truth is, but the judge did stream his decision on April 1st. Yes, April Fools. Oh. And the damages were incredible. It was between the damages, the special damages, the interest on the damages, the interest on the special damages. It came out around just shy of $400,000. And when it came to the legal expenses, it came about $990,000.
We're rich! We're rich! We're rich! We're rich! We're rich!
Now,
Billy,
the first thing is there's daily interest even on the existing damages. So I think the first guy that has to get his cut is probably you, Dave. You got to get your cut.
Billy, I don't want to interrupt you, but I want to just say, in the way that everyone knows, I am the greatest wrestling manager in the state of New Jersey. I am the first ever video game player manager. Okay, no one has ever had a wrestling manager in the video game world, but I am Billy's guy. I am his manager, and I would like to say, Billy, wrestling managers, 10% usually comes our way. I'm Roy. 10%
I always thought
crazy.
It was 14, David. Very reasonable.
Point being, Bill.
Look, I'm giving my manager 20.
That's my point. Now that's $40,000, Bill. I know Billy just left us.
All right, make it 12%,
That's
David.
fine. Robert, maybe you can just text the guy, see what he's working on him, and I'll tell. Oh, he's back. Billy, $40,000 is what Karl Jobst owes me. Does he not?
I think you're being generous. Yes.
I should get more.
Well, you know me. I'm your number one fan. I think you should get it all.
What?
I mean, this is sensational. Is he aware that this is his money he won, Roy? He seems to want to give it away today.
The words of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, give it away now.
The money was only a small part of it. To be honest, it's more the ass whipping that you enjoy so much. Absolutely.
Oh. I mean, Billy, I know you're kind of half joking. All of a sudden, I've decided not to be half joking. I've decided to be full on serious. If you want to give me $400,000, you couldn't ask for a better time in the Dave man's life. I'm just saying. So if this is some sort of fun little joke in your head, that's fine. But I'll take it and say, hey, there's some of us in real life who really could use this scratch. And I know that your hot sauce is flying off the charts, right? Ricky's hot sauce. I'm seeing it all over the place. That not only do you defeat Karl Jobst in this court case, but now Ricky's hot sauce is like a top 5 hot sauces in the United States of America. I just saw that.
Well, again, the truth is that we always knew we were going to win. We didn't know to what level, and we didn't know what reaction would come from it. And the reaction, because now you have a distinguished judge who is stating what he learned by all the facts. The judge's ruling was, I believe, 118 pages long. He left no stone unturned. So if you just want to follow the gossip train, well, you can just have fun. But if you pretend to be serious and you want to read through it, it eliminates any potential argument that the other side has. So it's a lot of fun.
Excellent. Very good. All right. Well, you know what? I'm very happy. Robert had a question.
Billy, you said you knew you were going to win. You didn't know how long it was. I grew up being taught sports as a metaphor for life. I would imagine video games is the same. Is that the mindset you go into when you're going into Donkey Kong or a Pac-Man game? I'm going to win. I don't know how long it's going to take.
No, absolutely. The most difficult part was getting to the finish line. It wasn't close. It was never close to being close.
God bless you. You just destroyed that Karl Jobst. And you know what? Anyone who dyes their hair blonde in 2025, I have major questions for. I always thought that was a horrible look. In the 90s, you started seeing men with the blonde. Even Roger Clemens had blonde frosted tips when he was on the Yankees in like the year 2000. And I'm like, why is Roger Clemens with the blonde tips? I hate it. And then I get this Karl Jobst with the blonde hair. I mean, and he looks like the albino kid on The Simpsons to me. That's what Karl Jobst looked like. That weird little blonde, kid who kind of looks like he should have been in Deliverance. That's what Karl Jobst is. Yeah. Roy has a question for you, Billy. We'll hang back and let Roy Harter ask.
Hey, Billy. Roy Harter in the house. That's right. Look, Billy. I know we've discussed this before, but this topic just haunts me like the Titanic or Hindenburg or Star Wars The Acolyte. And that is Kubert's nose a dick or a vagina? Let's get to the bottom of this once and for all. And by bottom, I mean ass. Thanks for your call, Billy. I'm going to hang up and listen to the response.
All right. Bill, sorry about that. It's not a talk radio, Roy. You didn't need to say thanks for the call. And also, you called him. And it wasn't a call. It was just a... Billy, I'm sorry about the Kubert thing. Roy and Big A seem to be obsessed with Kubert's nose. And I think the reason why is because it's phallic shaped, Bill. It's shaped penis-y, but then there's a hole, a big hole at the end of the nose. So then so that's vagina-y. So it's like the shaft of the penis and then the hole of the vagina. It's very confusing, that nose. And obviously Roy and Andrew are obsessed with it. Bill, what say you?
Well, I say it's a pretty pissy subject.
All right, Roy, you're embarrassing me in front of my friend,
Sorry, guys.
Bill Mitchell.
Okay.
Ask him a legitimate question so I can go on to another topic that I have. It's a very important topic about a new documentary that's just hit the world.
Bill Man.
Go ahead,
It's Roy Man. Let's talk Pac-Man. Did they shit can Miss Pac-Man? My homeland is Freudenland. And Bill Man, king of Pac-Man. Peace, man.
All right. Billy, apologies for Roy's behavior. Like I said, since the surgery, we not only believe that he suffered some brain damage, but there is probably an opioid addiction going on. So sorry, Bill.
You seem to, you seem to apologize a lot on behalf of Roy.
Yeah, I do. He does a lot of bad things, Bill. I don't even want to talk about why he brought up the Freudenland, Bill. All right? We're going to talk to you because a new documentary has finally hit the streaming because I checked it out, Bill. It's on Amazon Prime and it's on Apple TV. After this interview, I'm going to rent it or maybe even purchase it and then watch it. I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to watch it immediately after this episode. And that is Arcades and Love Songs. The Ballad of Walter Day. Basically what we're being told sort of the unofficial kind of cousin sequel to the King of Kong documentary. The greatest documentary of all time, The King of Kong, A Fistful of Quarters, Billy Mitchell versus Steve Wiebe, going for the Donkey Kong record. And that this is kind of a quasi second, cousin sequel documentary to that. What can you tell us about Arcades and Love Songs, The Ballad of Walter Day?
Well, if you wanted to look at it as a sequel, you could say it's a sequel, but it's Walter Day's story that comes after the King of Kong. It actually takes his life even prior to video games, going all the way back into the 70s when he was an oil broker. Then he became involved in video games. He ran the route and became the father of esports, hung up his jersey in 2014, and began pursuing his music career. And the truth is that so many of the people that helped him become the father of esports who participated at that point embraced the idea of his new career, and we helped him again along that way. And it's some of the same characters from the King of Kong. And so you and I have talked about this a little bit, and it's kind of heartwarming. So that's kind of cool. It's kind of disappointing because it shows the good side of video game players. So that's always disappointing. But it really is.
Bill,
it's a good movie. It's gotten great reviews.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Walter Day is fantastic. He's very similar to Roy. I've said it before, and I don't know. I think everyone thinks I'm joking. If you could get Walter Day over to Roy's house in Long Island, Roy, move out of the way for a second and show Billy. No. You don't even have to pick up your phone. Just you get out of the picture. Look at this. He's got one of the nicest music studios on the Eastern Seaboard. It's a nicer music studio than 99% of the sound design studios I've been in New York City.
Whereabouts on the island?
The point being,
whereabouts on the island is it?
He's on Long Island. He's right outside of New York.
Yeah, I'm
He's
on the
in
North
Long
Shore,
Island.
Billy.
Very good.
He's in North Shore. He's right outside. The point being, Bill, we'll get Walter Day in there. We'll get Roy Harter, and we'll get the Dave Man on the drums, and we'll knock together the greatest album, I don't know, since the band put out shit in the late 60s. We're going for a band type of album, okay? Folk rock, kind of. Americana rock.
That's big right now.
But I I said this to you last time, Bill, and you laughed. You and Walter laughed like I was joking around. I'm being serious. I invite people over to Roy's house all the time. It's Roy's house, not mine.
That's really that's no joke.
I tried to get Walter to join me on something with the idea that he would go to Roy's place, because this weekend, September 27th and 28th, there's an arcade called Game On Arcade. It's in the Smith Haven Mall in Lake Grove, New York. So that's out quite a ways. And I'm going to be there Saturday and Sunday, again, at Game On Arcade in Lake Grove, New York. And that would have been the opportunity for Walter to come with me and stop at Roy's place.
Well, yeah, it would have. You should have told us this before.
Made some magic.
Well, now that Walter has a movie, he's trying to pretend like he's a big star. He's trying to keep up with me.
Oh.
So he's heavily booked. But we're going to get him.
He's heavily booked.
He also has to go later this year. He has to go to Boston. So what if instead of going to Boston, we flew into New York, we went to Roy's place, and then we went up to Boston?
That's all I'm saying. Let's look. I am telling you, we will put together a hit song. Roy Harter knows how to do this. I'm saying sometime around Thanksgiving or Christmas, even sometime in the holiday season, make a trip to New York City. We go over to Roy's. We cut 2 songs, a hit single and a B-side, and then we take over the United States of America, the greatest new musical group of all time, in full effect. And Bill, we'll give you something to do. Maybe you can play a triangle, or Roy can give you a bass or something. Teach you an easy bass.
Yeah,
bass is easy.
Yeah, nothing to do with Hubert.
No, we're keeping Hubert out of this thing again because of the confusion with the nose. Dick or pussy?
That said, a song about Cubert's nose could be the hit ballad we're looking for.
All right, not a bad point. Bill, Roy, Roy, I'm the lyric guy. I'm the Mick Jagger in this group. You're the Keith Richards. So I'll get to work on the lyrics. Bill, I already penned 2 hit songs. Forget Tom Brady, the Giants Super Bowl song, and Fire That Ferret, the Brian Cashman song. Both have over hundreds of thousands of views online. Tom Brady on YouTube, Brian Cashman song on X. They have over 100,000 views. So I've written 2 hit songs. This will be the third, and it will be about Hubert. The B-side might be about Centipede.
Yes.
Roy?
All right.
Let's go.
Hey, Billy. It's Roy Harter here. Listen, I'm sorry for getting carried away today. I just get so excited when you're on the show. My question is, the other day when I was at the arcade, I was going for a record in Frogger when some teenager comes up to me and says, "It's 10 o'clock, mister. We're closing the arcade." I informed this teenage brat that this record doesn't happen every day, and if he knows what's good for him, he'll leave me the fuck alone. Listen, I don't want to give the whole story here for legal reasons. Let's just say the kid is in the hospital, and the Frogger machine at Papa Lardo's Pizza in Massapequa says, "Roy Harter, number 1. Thoughts, Billy?
Billy, thoughts? Apparently, he's confessing to assaulting the teenager who was working at the arcade in Massapequa.
All right. Well,
I didn't hear him say that.
I did.
Well, let's
Bill?
do the old deflection here. I was 18 years old, and I went into a club with some friends. They were interested in drinking and dancing, and I wasn't. There was a Miss Pac-Man machine there, and I sat down at the machine, and this big guy comes over to card me. I didn't have my ID, but I wasn't drinking. But it didn't matter. He's got your ID. And right when he walked up, I had just put the quarter in. "You got your ID?" I said, "No, but I'm not drinking." He said, "Well, I want to see your ID." And I mean, I'm 18, so I'm kind of a wise guy. And I go, "Well," I said, "I'm not drinking." I says, "You got to have an ID if you're not drinking?" And he gives me this dirty look. He points down at the machine and he says, "Last game." And I said, "No problem." 5.5
Wait, what did he do? Roy, don't hit the keyboard when he's talking because it muffles him. Billy, what was that final thing?
He says, last game. And I said, no problem. And I hit the start button. 5.5 hours later, I'm still playing. And I got him crawling up the wall. So I just do that to deflect from Roy's story so he doesn't get arrested.
That's amazing. So the guy, 1 quarter, 5.5 hours later, he's still playing the machine. That guy must have hated Billy so much.
He's watching me, and he tells the other guy to watch me like this, and he's pointing like this. But the thing that really ripped him was I was like 3 hours into it, and I'm still playing. And I said to his henchman, I go, do me a favor. Sit here. Don't touch nothing. Everything will be okay. I got him in a hiding spot. He said, okay. He sat there. I went to the bathroom. I came back. And when I sat down, I started playing again. The big guy comes over, and he starts yelling at his buddy. He said, I told you that was his last game. He says, this is his last game. I said I wanted his first game to be his last game. And he said, his first game is his last game. He says, you're trying to say he's on the same game? And the guy says, no, he's actually on the same man.
Whoa. Wow.
Ooh.
I mean, that's a video game story for the ages. I mean, this guy is closer to being the King Arthur of video games. I mean, that was just straight up magical right there. I mean, I was thinking about, like Billy Mitchell pulling the sword out of a stone with that story. Is there any argument, any dispute about who the greatest video game player is? We have the folklore with stories like that the rest of the public doesn't even know about. He's walking into bars, getting into fights with people, and then staying 5.5 hours on the same Pac-Man
But the good news is we take that story and we're able to protect the assault that Roy did on a kid over Frogger. Nobody remembers that story now.
Thank you, Bill. You helped that. Well, they will if I give them a chance to ask another question, which I'm going to do right now.
Billy. Roy Harter in his house. When a fellow gamer is going for a kill screen, is it okay to take out a pocket knife and cut one of their hamstrings? Thanks, Billy.
I don't know. None of my fellow gamers can ever get a kill screen.
Oh.
That was an insult to Brian Koo, as far as I'm concerned. The man who said we got a kill screen coming up in the King of Kong, who literally made that into a T-shirt. That is an actual T-shirt that I've seen in many, many locations. We have a kill screen coming up. Brian Koo. Are you telling me Brian Koo has still never gotten a Donkey Kong kill screen?
Not in front of me.
Brian. Ooh. Billy, what happened to Brian Koo? He was like, there was a time where he was up to about 500,000 points. And I was saying to myself, this is the next great Donkey Kong player. And then all of a sudden he just fell off the map, kind of like an RG3, a Robert Griffin III, when he was on Washington. And he was like, oh my God, this guy's going to be the next great quarterback. And then, with one knee injury and he's done. The same thing happened to Koo. It's like he's a phenom like RG3, and then where is he? Is Brian Koo still in?
Well, he's the kind of guy, without joking, you'd have to know him. He constantly gets distracted by the food buffet. I mean, he's constantly on the buffet. He's been thrown out of more buffets, all you can eat, than anybody you ever met.
That's the single funniest way of calling someone fat I've ever heard.
No, it was funny. He was at an Asian buffet, and he ate 63 pieces of sushi, and they threw him out and told him not to come back, and he has no idea why. He can't figure it out. What? He's... But listen, I wish I had it in my hand, but I have a video. Brian Koo walking around saying how there's a Donkey Kong kill screen coming up. Well, there's an alternative video where he's walking around explaining how there's a Karl Jobst bankruptcy coming up. And I'm going to send it to you immediately after the show, and you can utilize it any way you want.
Okay, we'll utilize it.
Hey,
hold on.
Right in the
There's a
episode.
Karl Jobst bankruptcy coming up. If anyone's interested, Karl Jobst bankruptcy. Todd, if you're interested, there's a Karl Jobst bankruptcy coming up. It is. It's new since the judges.
First of all, this is hysterical. Secondly, so it sounds like Brian Koo, if he's going to be competing, he should be competing next to Joey Chestnut with the food stuff rather than, in other words, he should be doing the competitive hot dog thing on July 4th and forget about the Donkey Kong, because if he hasn't gotten a kill screen it's been 20 years since King of Kong came out. That's no good. I mean, with all due respect, you know the games that I like, Bill. It's the Mario games. All Mario platform. So that's, Super Mario Brothers, that's Mario Galaxy, that's Mario Odyssey, that's Mario 64, Mario World, etc. And then all Mario Kart games, which I play online against the world. If I started Super Mario Odyssey 10 years ago, Bill, and I still hadn't beaten it, I'd jump out this window right here, buddy. I'd say life ain't worth living if I can't get my video game mission accomplished. And Koo coming up short for the last 2 decades on a Donkey Kong kill screen? Come on, man.
We got to get it. We got to get a Donkey Kong at Roy's place and challenge Brian to play it there.
Where does Brian Koo live?
He lives in New Hampshire, not far from Fun Spot.
Okay. The other question is the video game player who collects spiders with the big ponytail, Todd Rogers. What record does he have again, and does he still have it?
Well, he plays a lot of home platforms. He had over 1,000 records at one time. I actually don't know how many he still has. Wow. And he is the one guy, he crosses between both worlds of what I call home games and arcade games. There's not many guys that do both. I don't do both. I do arcade games. There's guys that only do home games. He's the one guy, he does cross both worlds.
Yeah.
More home games, but
let me tell you something.
Yeah. So
let me tell you something about Todd Rogers. I consider him to be the Ozzy Osbourne of video games. He's got long black hair. He collects spiders, Roy. He loves tarantulas. In my opinion, Roy, he collects too many spiders. They're laying all over the living room floor. He's just got them in little plastic boxes all over the place on his couch. But I'll tell you this about Todd Rogers. He might be heavy metal, but let me tell you something. That man can play some old school video games. Now, Billy, he might be Ozzy, but to me, that makes you the Mick Jagger. See, I don't think it's debatable anymore. We've had 70 years of rock and roll. I think we can all say, who's the greatest frontman ever? It's Mick Jagger. Mick Jagger is the quintessential lead singer,
the benchmark
/ frontman.
Yeah,
that's Billy. He's the bar. Exactly. Jagger's the bar. Billy's the bar. When it comes to video games, Todd Rogers is like Ozzy. After what I heard, I always thought Brian Koo was like Devo, Roy, which would have been a compliment. But after what I heard today, that Koo hasn't gotten the kill screen. No, I'm going to be like, Brian Koo is barely one half of They Might Be Giants.
Not the good half either.
He's not Devo.
So, Mick Jagger, Ozzy Osbourne, where does Roy fit in?
I'm more.
Roy Harter?
Yes.
Weirdly enough, Roy Harter is very similar to Roy Shildt. That's why he was taking them on the other day. They both, Bill, a little bit Aryan, okay? They both are, I hate to say it, overly sexed up. Okay, Bill? And they're both clinically insane. Those three things. They have a
Sure.
In fact,
All right.
Roy, why
hey,
don't you
Billy,
ask Billy a
Roy
question?
Harter here. Hey, Bill, honestly, isn't it time that we ban the game Centipede? I know it's not human centipede, Bill, but it just makes me think of that. Just like suckerfish, Chinese finger cuffs, and hot dogs. They should be banned too. It's time to stop human centipede trafficking, America. I'm Roy Harter, and I'm just the man to do it. Paid for by political pals of Roy Harter and the Illuminati.
Okay, Billy, I don't think that was a question. I think he's running for office or something. I think we just heard a Roy Harter
That's okay. I'm
political
very
ad.
grateful it's not a question.
Billy, he's scary, isn't he? Some of the things that he brings to the table.
He's scary long before he gets to the table, yes.
You know, I'm just looking at all four of us, and we have some great beards. Billy, rank the beards. Let's go 4 through 1. 4 being the worst beard, number 1 being the best beard. Let's rank the 4 beards right now, according to Billy Mitchell. Billy, you're the only one. You're the only judge who is going to be doing this. Go ahead. Please rank the beards.
Well, as far as comical,
No, I just want worst to best. Period.
okay, worst to best with the three of you? Oh, I think it's a dead heat.
Yes, please. Billy, come on. I'm not letting you get away that easy. And by the way, you're included. You're included here.
Oh, well, I don't know what it's like.
So let's go.
Yeah,
Number
but I don't
4.
know what it's like to be in second place, so I can't really compete.
All right. Let's assume that you're number 1. I want you to rank whose beards are better between me, Robert, and Roy. Let's go, Billy. I'm not letting you off the hook here.
All right, second's going to be Robert. Steve,
Yeah,
you'll be
thank you,
third
Billy.
because I don't really know what Roy's beard is. Actually, is it real? Pull on it like this. Okay.
All right. So you're saying Roy's is number 1?
I didn't say that. You said that.
Oh, you're saying mine's number 1 and Roy's is number 3. Good. That's another thing I beat you
Fair
in,
enough.
Roy.
Fair enough, David. Fair enough.
Beard worse.
I'm afraid to say
And I'm in
anything
that
about
sweet
Roy
spot.
because it might lead to another question.
All right, can I just discuss this very quickly? I had to sit up last night. And by the way, I've gotten a total of 4 hours of sleep these last 2 days. I have to take my son's phone to Apple today to get it fixed because the display isn't working. But he set the alarm for 5 a.m., 5:15 a.m., 5:30 a.m., 5:45 a.m., 6 a.m., 6:15 a.m., 6:30 a.m., 6:45 a.m., 7 a.m.
Can you
Amazing.
And the display
how do you
doesn't
turn
work.
it up?
What?
repeat that, please?
It's I've had the alarm on 5 a.m., 15, 5:30, 5:45, 6, 6:15, 6:30, 6:45, and 7 a.m. And it won't turn off. I've tried to turn it off. I know you press the side on here, the one over here, you do this. Since there's no display, when I push the 2 buttons, you can't have that, scroll the thing to turn it off. So I have no way of turning this phone off. The last 2 days, I'm like, and because I watch sports, so I'm watching football on Saturday, the college football. I'm watching pro football. I'm watching the Giants last night. So I'm up till about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. So I'm like, okay. And then the phone starts going off. First of all, pure torture. By the 3rd time, I'm like, should I just stay up or should I get back to sleep? I'm still kind of sleepy. You know what? Oh, man. You know what? I think I'll go back to sleep. I'll try to get at least 12 minutes. And by the time I shut my eyes, the thing goes off again. Because I've been deliberating for that 15 minutes of whether or not to go back to sleep. And so now I'm actually torturing myself So I have to go to Apple and get Stanley Mac's phone freaking fixed. It's been basically 4 hours of total sleep these last 2 days, Bill. It's been tough, Billy.
That's your excuse. How about Roy's?
I feel like I
mean, Roy's just a psycho. His excuse is that he has brain damage.
I feel.
But here's the point. Let me just say, the Giants are killing me, man. They're killing me. This team's going nowhere. The sign of a bad team in all sports is when one side of the ball plays well, the other side doesn't. And then the next week, that side of the ball fixes things and they play well, but then the other side doesn't. If it's baseball, the quintessential bad baseball team is on a night where you pitch well, no one hits. And then guys hit well, but then the pitching staff gives up 8 or 9 runs. Or basketball on a night where you score 130, you had no D and you let up 140, right? The Giants, their defense, we've been told is supposed to be good. Their defense weeks 1 and 3 last night was pretty good. But then offensively, weeks 1 and 3, terrible. Russell Wilson is horrible. The offensive line is terrible. Joe Shane, yet again, has gone into the season with this Graham Gano guy. Every year, Graham Gano, our kicker, is hurt. And every year, we have to have our punter becoming an emergency field goal kicker for a couple weeks. At this point, if I'm watching Graham Gano get hurt every single year for the last 3, 4, 5 seasons, maybe Graham Gano is injury prone. Maybe Graham Gano always gets hurt. Maybe either cut Graham Gano, which would be option number 1, or number 2, if you believe in them so much, you have to have a backup. You have to I would have a backup kicker who can somehow punt.
I would get destroying the YouTuber, because then even if you're not winning games, at least young kids will be fans of your team. You'll get some revenue, and maybe you could get some better players.
Well, I mean, but every year, the problem with the Giants is Joe Shane, the general manager, makes the same mistakes every season. He goes into the year with a terrible offensive line, with a terrible defensive backfield, with no quarterback, and then with no ability to be decisive. There's just God damn it, I hate the Giants so much. Yes.
Could I take a hot take here, Dave? I think the Giants may actually turn this around. I think they have the pieces. They just have to put it together on offense. It's not Russell Wilson. I do not think he's the answer. I do think it is Jameis. Get Jameis in there. He's a footballer.
No, stop.
Hang on. Hear me out. Because he also has Scatterboo in the backfield.
Time out. I can't, because he's not Jameis. They've already stated officially is the third string quarterback. The next guy who goes in is Dart, the rookie quarterback who they drafted in the first round. What I'm telling you is, with MetLife, 80,000 people last night, Robert, were chanting, "We want Dart." There's no Jameis Winston talk here. The talk is, when are they going to put in the rookie? You drafted him in the first round, and now the Giants are 0-3. The season's done. And again, the season's done before October 1st. This is the problem with the Giants. Every year they're 0-3 and 0-4. Every single season, they're done by October 1st. It's not even Halloween season yet, and the Giants football season is over. That's what the fans have had to deal with since Eli left. And that's not fair to do to fans. Basically say, hey, your whole football season, 75% of your football season doesn't matter, because you guys are done after the first 25%. And that really has been the case with the Giants. So my thing is, yes, please go to Jackson Dart. Please go to Jackson Dart. And to talk to Robert's point about Jameis Winston, he's on the team. There's a lot of quarterbacks. There's a lot of teams who have had their quarterbacks get hurt. Vikings just lost J.J. McCarthy. Commanders just lost Jaden Daniels. There's quarterbacks getting hurt all over the place. Trade Jameis Winston to one of those teams for a draft pick. We can use Jameis Winston for some collateral. Can Joe Shane actually be a general manager and make some intelligent moves for a change? That's all I'm asking.
That could work. I do think Scatterboo was a great pickup.
I love him.
I think he's a hard-nosed football player, and if you put him with somebody who's a winner, maybe it's this Dart kid. I don't know. I haven't seen enough from him yet. I do think if he gets hurt, if he goes down after they put him in and maybe Jameis steps up, we could be seeing, almost like we saw with Ohio State, a Cardale Jones type.
I know, but what I'm telling
nobody
you
was
is
prepared for this.
It's the person, the quarterback to be looking at is Jackson Dart. But as far as Scatterboo goes, I mean, I don't care the fact that he is a walking, talking, living case of CTE. I mean, the guy is he might as his number minus instead of 44 should actually be CTE. That should actually be his football nerd on his jersey. Regardless, Captain Concussion, Cam Scatterboo, I don't care. Let him be Ram Man from He-Man and just smash into guys with his head. The kid is awesome.
Yeah.
He's awesome. Now he uses his head as a battering ram, and I can't imagine he'll be able to remember his name when he's 45 years old. But
I have a hot take. I don't think he can remember his name now. I don't think he ever had that. That's why he's immune to CTE.
I know. He has it now as we speak. And somehow right now, the deal that with the Devil Giants are making is we're like, right now, CTE is his superpower. His brain has withered away and died that he'll just run head first into people and smash other people with his head.
He has no cortex.
He's like the junkyard dog with the headbutt.
Yeah.
Roy, do you have another question? One last question, Roy, for Billy, because it's uncomfortable.
Billy.
Okay,
Roy Harter with one final question. Full disclosure, I forgot what it was, so you're going to have to remember it for me. Well, did you remember, Billy?
I got it.
That was.
You were gonna
go ahead, Bill.
You were gonna ask me that if you come to Game On Arcade at the Smith Haven Mall in Lake Grove, New York on Saturday and Sunday, would they let you in considering your history? Now I'm going to be there, and there's no way you'll get past security, but maybe I could help you. Maybe.
I mean, Roy, you do have a history of bad behavior at arcades. You admitted today to hospitalizing a teenager who was just trying to do his job and tell you that it was 10 p.m. and that the arcade was closing. And you assaulted that young man. We've heard other times where you seem to have physically assaulted. I believe one time you threatened your neighbor with a rifle.
It was just a test, Billy. I love you, and I'm going to hang up and listen to your response.
Okay, well, the good news is that the Game On Arcade, it actually ends or it closes at 9 p.m. So maybe we'd have everybody out of the way so you can't cause a danger.
Billy, first of all, let me tell you something. You know how special you are?
No, go ahead.
You're a special man. Okay, I'm going to tell you. You're a very special person. We have had so many celebrities on our show throughout the years. In these last 15 years of the Davey Mac Sports Program. Oliver Stone, Robert De Niro, Brad Pitt, Al Pacino, Jack Nicholson, just to name a few people who have not appeared on the show. Eddie Vedder, another one. Definitely never did the show. Michael Jordan, Shaquille O'Neal. Absolute top of the line in their field. They never did the show, though. But you know what? We do have a GOAT. When it comes to video games, no one is better than Billy Mitchell.
With that compliment, here's what I want to give to you, Dave. With that compliment, anybody who shows up this weekend at the Game On Arcade that mentions you, says they watch your show, they got a picture of you, whatever, I'll have a special prize for them.
Oh.
I love this, Bill. Look at how magnanimous Billy Mitchell is. And by the way, he is an absolute dream to meet in person. In all honesty, in the King of the Quarters, a fistful of, King of Kong, Fistful of Quarters documentary, Billy, they portrayed as the heel. We all know this, the villain. And they portrayed Steve Wiebe as the babyface, the good guy. And I'm going to tell you something. Yeah, Steve Wiebe. In real life, Billy Mitchell's the babyface, whether you people like it or not. All right? Steve Wiebe, he's a great guy. But I got to tell you, after someone who just recently watched King of Kong, remember they did a montage and Steve Wiebe's wife is like, he's a great artist. And then they showed his sketchings, and one was of the Seattle Supersonics guy and another was of Darth Vader. With all due respect, Bill, I hope I don't offend you by saying this. I thought his artwork was shit. I apologize. I'm just trying to say it was juvenile. Billy Mitchell, he could probably sit down there, and do a goddamn painting of Darth Vader. That thing's going to look like the Mona Lisa, let's be honest. Whatever Billy puts his mind to, he becomes number one, whether it's Ricky's Hot Sauce, the number one hot sauce in the United States of America, whether it's Donkey Kong, the greatest score ever, whether it's Pac-Man getting a perfect game, greatest game of all time. Whatever Billy puts his mind to, he accomplishes. Karl Jobst shot his mouth off, and Billy said, well, now, unfortunately, Karl, rather than concentrating on Donkey Kong and Pac-Man and Ricky's Hot Sauce, I'm going to concentrating on destroying your life. And he did. The lesson is, if you don't want some, don't mess with the Billy Mitchell. Okay? If you want some, then you mess with Billy. If you don't want any, don't mess with Billy. Just simply give Billy his flowers. Greatest video game player of all time who's transcended the video games. And you all know it. Karl. And remember that other kid? I'm sorry, I don't want to be mean, but Apollo Legend, whatever happened to him?
He passed away.
Oh, shit. Roy.
Yeah, Dave. That was a little awkward, huh?
Roy, I mean, was that one of your questions? That was so awkward. Billy, Roy asked that.
It's question number 9, but I didn't have the balls to ask him, David. But at least one of us did.
Billy, here's my point. The only people who do trolling and do these hate videos are literal people who can't get stuff done. They're people who can't create. They're people who can't accomplish. If you're a creator and if you're someone who actually accomplishes things, you don't dedicate a YouTube channel or a podcast to just shitting on someone. It's probably the laziest type of creativity that exists. Honestly, whether it's on YouTube or podcast, the laziest thing that exists is I can't create something of my own. I have no confidence in my personality so all I'm going to do is watch or listen to other people and then comment on their videos. Congratulations. You've brought nothing to the table. You're totally useless and your show sucks. See, it's hard to create all the time. And that's what Billy Mitchell does. He creates. Billy, Donkey Kong record. Donkey Kong Jr. record. Pac-Man record, Ms. Pac-Man record. What other games do we have? Or have I missed any? Because I know, see, that's the other thing. It's not just Donkey Kong. It's Burger Time?
Centipede.
Burger Time. How'd you forget Burger Time?
Fix It Felix.
Running out of keys here, Billy.
That's enough. That's enough.
So in addition to Donkey Kong Jr., Pac-Man, and Miss Pac-Man, folks, he has world records in Burger Time, which I consider to be the greatest video game of all time. Everyone always says, screw Mario, screw Sonic, screw Pac-Man. It's Burger Time. That's number one. And number two, Fix-It Felix, a brand new game that was put out that in which Billy was featured in the movie Wreck-It Ralph. And then they put out a video game, Fix-It Felix, to honor him, and he beats the entire game. This is like an Inception amount of goat within a goat within a goat within a goat in a movie within a goat within a goat. That's why people hate on Billy. And that's why the Davey Mac Sports Program, that's why me, Eastside Dave McDonald, Roy Harter to a certain extent, and Bobby Tamburro will always be in your corner, Bill, because you're the king and everyone else is a wannabe, whether they want to admit it or not. Any future video game projects coming up for Bill that you'd like to talk to us about? I know you got the New York one. Give us some of the details about that and details about any project of yours that you'd like to promote.
Now, on the table right away is just, again, the Game On Arcade in Lake Grove, New York. This Saturday and Sunday, the 27th and 28th. That'll be awesome. It's really cool because I travel to Long Island. My wife's from Long Island. So not only do we do what we do with the Game On Arcade, but then we go to the old stomping ground. So, again, it's kind of a life experience for us, too. That's great.
Oh, well, that's fantastic. Maybe Roy will meet up with you.
Yes,
you never know.
Absolutely.
Well, I actually thought to myself, your show, depending on the time of the year, a lot of times you do your work on Sunday. And I did. I thought, wow, maybe on Sunday I could go. But it doesn't work out this time. But next time it may.
Absolutely. Listen, you know my dream. My dream is we all go to Roy's house in around the holiday season, and we cut together a song. It will be the greatest song ever. And I do like the Q-Bert idea.
Great idea.
The Q-Bert topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Boston run would be good. Roy said he'd be willing to drive you from Long Island to Boston.
Yes.
Roy, any projects or
yes,
gigs coming
I do have a gig coming up this Friday with a band called Torpedo the Band.
We gotta have Long Island pizza. You know, we gotta go to a New York diner. So you experience, you know, when we go to New Orleans, you know, we have the red beans and rice. It goes on and on, you know.
Oh yeah.
I love it. Roy, screw your plug. It's all about the pizza.
Yeah.
He torpedoed that torpedo.
Anyway, I don't even remember where the fuck the gig is. I know it's somewhere in Long Island Centerport, so it doesn't really matter that it was Torpedo, David. But let's.
All right, Robert. What?
Saturday, I'll be at the Oak City Cinema in somewhere in Phoenixville, PA. October 11th, I will be in Columbus at the Attic. October 12th at Hilarities in Cleveland. And right now, the Canadian government is on their way to slaughter some ostriches. So people are trying to bring some awareness to that. I don't know all the details. I just heard that and was like, probably should mention it. So tweet Save the Ostriches if you want to save those ostriches.
All right, Billy, did you hear anything about this ostrich crisis in Canada? Did you hear about this, Bill?
I don't really hear anything about Canada.
Billy's an American, David.
That's not a country. You know, it's just like a landmass.
There you go.
Oh, boy.
I mean, I only went there once. I went to Montreal when I was 11 for a week of skiing, even though I couldn't ski. So I don't know what the hell my parents were thinking. Like, bring this kid who can't ski to a French freaking city, or at least a place where they only speak French. And I'm like, the guy's like, okay, and I'm like, what are you saying? He's like, snowplow, do a snowplow. And I'm like, what is a snowplow? What are you
pizza wedge, the pizza wedge.
Yeah, the pizza wedge, the pizza snowplow, a wedge, a snowplow. I'm like, I'm 11, sir, and you sound like that skunk that I watch on Saturday morning on Looney Tunes. Like, I don't.
That'd be like you.
Please leave me alone. I'm like, I was constantly asking for a tube so I could just go down in one of those tubes. It was really cool, like the mountain stuff, but skiing, not so much. Now, Davey Mac, well, he loves sleigh riding. I'll go down a tube. I'll get in a sled. I'll do whatever. Anyway, I agree with you, Bill. Canada, they have some work to do. Number one, if they're going to have a country that tells Americans go skiing in it, make sure that they can speak English, for Christ's sakes. Make sure they can speak the Queens. Who am I talking? I'm talking to fucking Jacques Cousteau over here, Bill. I don't know what the hell's going. He's telling me to go down the mountain or try to find swordfish. I mean, what is this, Billy? And it's like, what's the deal with Canada, Bill? It's like, why are they speaking French? I mean, the Eiffel Tower's in Paris. It's not in Toronto. I mean, what's the deal? I mean, can Canadians be any more boring, Bill? It's like they're Americans, only with no personality. Anyway, Billy, that was my Jerry Seinfeld impersonation. This show was going to end 4 minutes ago, but I think I've just gotten a huge energy boost somehow. I don't know where it happened, Bill. Maybe it happened from the 4 Coca-Colas I had before the show, but the sugar has just kicked in, Billy. Anyway.
Alrighty. Hey,
I'm going to get up.
I'll talk to you after game on at Lake Grove, New York.
All right, Billy. That was the best way. All right, Billy. We'll talk to you later. You can hang up. We're going to end the show, too. Are we still on the air?
We're on the air, yeah.
No, I want to be on the air. The poor guy. And it's true. I got a whole bunch of sugar rush right now. I could go for another hour and a half, but I got to take my son's stupid iPhone to the Apple store. And I took it to 2 different locations where I thought they could get it fixed. First, Verizon, where I bought it. And secondly, Best Buy, which has always been known to fix electronics. Both places told me we can't fix your phone. We're not allowed. I said, why? They go, Apple won't allow us.
They want you to buy a new phone,
phone.
Dave. That's what do they call that? Planned obsolescence. It's a term. Yeah.
Yeah, and Apple's actually been sued for it in the European courts.
That's some bullshit. Apple won't let us fix your phone?
Gotta buy a new one, buddy.
All right, look.
Do you know they have a light bulb that lasts over 100 years?
Listen, I just got this phone. Ravens Lions tonight in Baltimore. Who do you got, Robert?
You know what? Give me the Ravens. The Lions, it feels like you've said all along that the ship's starting to rock. This may be where it all falls apart. The Ravens have had a couple of tough, close games.
I'm going with the Lions. David. Rawr. Yeah.
Oh, my.
I'm with Robert. I don't like the Lions anymore. Give me the Ravens. This is the year that either Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen wins the Super Bowl. This has to be the year that they win the Super Bowl. So I'm going with a lot of Bills and Ravens picks this year. I'll do quick football and then we'll get out of here. Packers upset by the Browns. Bills win again. The Colts crush the Titans as Daniel Jones, my quarterback of the New York Football Giants, is the early MVP frontrunner. I kid you not. He has played the best from the quarterback position as the Colts are 3-0. Vikings crush the Bengals. Bucks beat the Jets. Did you see that? The Jets block a field goal, and their head coach, Aaron Glenn, just goes crazy and starts dancing and starts, doing high stepping and all this stuff. And all that happens is that the Bucks, Baker Mayfield and Tampa Bay, come right down the field and win the game. And so he looks like a major a-hole.
Did you hear what Baker said in his press conference?
Yeah.
Too?
He made fun of the defensive coordinator or something. It was a guy who cut him.
So basically, when he was on the Panthers, they wouldn't let him practice with the offense. So they put him on the defense and made him play defensive end on the scout team. Defensive end. And this guy just tried to humiliate him. He leaked the footage and tried to ruin Baker's career. So him going, it felt a little better to humiliate that guy. It was pretty
glad.
Cool. I love chip on the shoulder Baker. I'd watch out for the Bucks.
Oh, I'm with you.
They've won a couple of games.
I'm with you. If you look at Baker's stats these last 2 years, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He just doesn't get talked about it. But his stats
are absolutely fantastic. Bears beat the Cowboys. Niners stay undefeated by beating the Cardinals. Jags beat the Texans. Houston 0-3. CJ Stroud was the rookie of the year 2 years ago. He followed it up with a bit of a sophomore slump, and now he's following up his sophomore slump with 0-3. Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Looking good.
All right, look. They'll do it.
Did you see, just real quick, I don't mean to interrupt. Did you see the guy who posted the prop bet he made too, where he took the Browns to lose to the Packers. The Browns went on a last-second blocked field goal. He took the Eagles to lose to. The Eagles went on a last-second blocked field goal, and he had the Bucks with the 6.5 spread. And because of the blocked field goal, they only won by less than 6.5. Literally 3 blocked field goals cost him at prop.
Oh my God. That's enough to just say, you know what, I'm never gambling again, or you just jump off a bridge.
I'm fucking due. Yeah. That would be my logic.
That's rough.
Either that or he listens to too much.
Ton.
I was going to say either that or he listens to too much Chris Pepper Stanley's picks. That's all.
Well, it was weird. There was a lot of blocked field goals yesterday in critical points in the game, so it was very strange. But anyway, all right, that will do it. We're going to end here. Roy, I thank you. Everyone be on the lookout for all torpedo projects for Roy Harter and Sean O'Barry. Be on the lookout for the Bobby Tamburro stand-up comedy. As for me, be on the lookout for the Modern Day Man Show stuff, Tales from the Satellite, Eastside Davidson Wrestling Show, and everything else. For Roy Harder, Bobby Tamburro, my name is Eastside David McDonald. Good night, everybody.